さてどうする？あ。
頼むな。よっ。うり。
まただなぞ。
しんど。
案外骨が折れたな。
じゃあ取るよ。お、いい感じ。
Alright, so there's a few things to unpack there. But what we're trying to do is get to Altissia in the axis of the past. So normally you would call Umbra at a hotel, bring you back to past Lucis, and the only way to return to Altissia is from Umbra again. However, since the two maps are technically connected, we can, using this method, get to Altissia by remaining on that earlier time axis of the past. There have been other methods previously, but those have since been patched out, such as getting your Chcobo out of bounds and swimming to the area. But with the trick I've done here, dubbed the Skywalker glitch, I have removed Noctis's collision except for the ground, and in effect I can just straight beeline for the area, at which point I'm going to make a save, reload, and I should be able to fall onto solid ground. Just to give a bit more details as to how this came to be. So this glitch is possible to do on the Royal version 2, but I am running this on version 1.3 base game. It's off of PS5, but with the PS4 original disc. The glitch does not work on 1.0 for some reason. But other glitches do work in various other versions. So I'm showcasing the one which I think is the best way to get to this state of the game. So to go back to the beginning of the recording to outline some of my steps, I brought the Regalia just in front of Galdin Key, rather high up. If you're not high enough, you'll probably just end up skywalking close to underground of Altissia. When you save and reload, you'll just fall into the ocean or fall out of bounds and fall forever, and we don't want that. So to avoid the risk, I just make sure to pick a high point. The trick you see here, skywalking, can be done in 3 places, anywhere where there's an area to sit. So Longwythe is one. There is one beside the Disc of Cautis as well. I can't remember the station name, Alster or something like that. And there is a third location at the Tailpar rest area. The Longwythe I've had the most practice in, but any one of them would work just fine. So what we do to get to this state, we have to have our Chcobo unlocked. I'm on chapter 9 right now, so I've already done that side quest. By getting into a battle triggering the ability Dash to Chcobo learned at level 2, that effect of the bird chasing Noctis down will continue even when he's not in battle. So we will, after triggering Dash, escape from that Saber Tusk battle you saw, going for a beeline back to Longwythe to that bench where we could in effect sit. So if we keep the camera mainly pointed at the bird, he will follow us most of the time. And when he's near, and you can tell this because the camera will shift slightly, you trigger the animation to sit, which thankfully takes a few seconds, which gives us a good amount of cushion time to get this trick triggered. The jumping on the Chcobo animation will conflict with the sitting animation, so you'll see in Noctis in this sort of braking state where he's not truly on the bird. After a few seconds, either Prompto will go through his sit dialogue and snap a photo, or the bird will get tired of you and you will, hop off as if the normal dash to Chcobo was successful. Let's put some music on. So once Noctis gets off the bird, you'll see he's not reaching the ground anymore, but there's no vertical or rather horizontal movement to gain just by moving the analog around. He's sort of stuck in place. So to fix that, what we do is abuse the take photo system in this game, which was given to us with 1.3, but only Royal Edition now has the first person mode. Thankfully, it's not required to sort of refresh Noct's vertical position, and so instead of the falling animation, he defaults to the standing neutral one. When doing that successfully, he is gaining sort of half a step each time, and this slowly and repetitively does gain us the ability to maintain air movement. Doing so perpetually, we try to get ourselves back to some kind of level ground. That's why I was back at Longwood aiming for the rock sort of inclined upward. And it's critical that you find something that's at a higher level point than you are. Otherwise, you'll just be, well, sort of floating in the sky forever. Once we do reach the level ground, we have to return to a different area. It could be the rest point, it can be your car like I did, or it could even be towing it back to Hammerhead. But once you do that, that's when the glitch should be triggered, and that we have lost the collision, and you see the situation I'm in now. So we're just gonna, right now I have a rubber band on my controller and the sprint button enabled just to let this go a little more easily without focus. But this is gonna take 30-40 minutes to get to our location. So I am gonna let this go for the duration and I will be back. This is only the first part of a glitch I want to attempt to showcase.
梅子。
Alright, I'm back. I don't know what happened just a minute ago, but somehow I started getting drift in the controller and it started turning the camera like this. So that's fine, I got the rubber band off and back in it. I hope I didn't get one of those PS5 controller errors others have seen in the past, but that's by the by. So the next step here is once I get above that little red point, I know what that is where the NPC I need to speak to is located. I don't need to stop there, but it's just a good position on the map. Eventually it looks like I can't even run anymore, so I'm just walking. Alternatively, I could... Well, I don't have any alternative. Can't dodge roll, can't warp. I'm in a...
やっと人のいる場所に来られた
city zone, so I can't attack, but yeah, see, that was a good height.
おい、これ見てみろ。
どうした？
Looks like my friends have joined me as well. Anyways, it's I'm gonna save here and reload in a moment. I hope I've had this recorded. Just double check. Yeah, that's going.
王の力って使うと
Can I
疲れんの
click that on this height?
朝起きれねえ感じだし。
I think
そ
so.
ら夜更かし。
So, you see I have these options because the game still thinks I'm in the axis of the past, right?
原因だろ。
So, if you look at the map, there is this sort of rudimentary boat line going around. You can actually also call your car to these areas. So, I know I'm rather high, but let's see if I could call it from this position. It does not look like it. Nah, no good. And probably not. Calling my bird doesn't do anything. Take photo again, nothing. Maybe this is just your typical boat path, but I can't call. So I'm gonna reload, and when I do that, it's gonna get rid of my Skywalker glitch, which should put me back to the ground, but I would still be in the in the Lucis of the past state. Let's see what happens. There you go. You saw briefly that I fell down, back to normal, and there's the guy to continue Chapter 9 into the Leviathan fight. See, I still have my options here. The game still functions as normal right now. But what's important is that with this setup, I can now teleport from Altissia back to Lucis without Umbra, with relative ease. And I can do that by first and foremost calling my car. Because I don't have a rest point here, my rest point is back in Lucis, if you remember, at the camp. You can see I could call the car here because I'm close to this sort of fake road. So let's do that. Get a quick laugh at the animation. Yeah, she can walk on water. But Noctis can't. So this is one of the rare instances he's actually swimming. My party members don't quite have that ability, so they're going to hover there. But that doesn't really concern me. I want to get back on land. Okay, easy peasy. So now I have my Regalia here. It doesn't show up on the map. gonna make another save here just in case I screw up. But let us go back to our home continent. Alright, we're back here. Let's just quickly make our lives a little easier and bring the daylight back. So I have the option to return to car. You could see it's nowhere on the map right now because it is back way south of us. Can't see the map unless we go there. But before we do that, let's prepare a little more. The next glitch we're going to attempt is the return to entrance glitch. Now, this was possible ever since 1.0. Not commonly used, but you can use it to gain some permanent party members. This was an accident. I wanted to jump, but I just hit the interact with the take photo. That shouldn't affect anything. Alright, return to entrance. So, by using the daggers in a precise timing, we can hold on to Noct's forward momentum such that his friends go down, but we stay above. So we are going to trick the game into wondering whether we're in a dungeon or in the overworld. This, in effect, is going to give us another teleportation ability. It's going to take a few minutes to set this up. Exit. Head to that point with the ridge and just go back and re-interact with the door. You won't see anything happen, but you can hear that the door is slowly coming back. Sometimes you just lose interactability with the door. That's just some bad luck. You could try sleeping to reset the state of the dungeon. Alternatively, you could reload your save file. Alright, so you see these are our typical options. And now we have return to entrance. So even when we leave this dungeon, it's going to remain in our menu slot for a good amount of the map. Not all of it. Eventually it fades away. I'll just equip the raiment now because it gives me higher MP. Don't need it yet, but I will soon. So, just to give the summary right now, we are in the Lucis of the past. Our car is back in Altissia. We have the return to entrance glitch enabled. side notes, I guess. We have the bird unlocked. You need it level 2 or higher. You want your Regalia to be at 100% durability, so no damage. It doesn't matter if it's the Regalia D or the normal.
Thank you.
So next up, we're going to revisit the customize menu glitch. Sadly, there is no straightforward way of getting active menu glitch in base game version 1.3. The easiest way was with the first person take photo option. That's not available. The backup way was with the races, with the Regalia D, but those are not in the base game either. And there might be a much longer, like hour-and-a-half setup method, but it's only been done on Japanese and I don't understand the steps. So instead, we will try to go with customize menu and see if that works. This is my first time trying this method, and it's been a while since I've done it before on the other system, so I can't confirm whether it works with complete certainty on the PS5 and 1.3 base game. But I am running to a specific camp point because I want to trigger a side quest.
よーしゃしねえぞ。
調子に乗りすぎんなよ。
お前もな。よっ。
お前も来いよ。
よっ。
And I just found out, even though I don't have the DLC installed, I still get some of the OST music. Curious.
ありがとな。
Alright, so we'll camp here.
キャンプかよ。
キャンプの何が不満なんだよ。
MP3 player is nice. Just get the cheese pizza because it's free. Doesn't really matter what greens I pick. But the infinite stamina sprint is useful. If you don't get this, you could just equip the stamina badge. Should be part of the free LC. Free DLC. Alright, so assuming you have not completed this quest yet, it will trigger every time you sleep here. Almost every time. It's only failed on me once for some reason.
明日の朝ちょっと付き合ってくれない？この通り。
しょうがねえな。
ありがとう、鬼切りよ。そうと決まれば今日も寝ましょう。
Alright, so we're in the side quest. Now, all of these options are grayed out except for the one we glitched. So, let's use it. This will allow us to break the bounds of the side quest and retain our movement. So, as long as I don't close this blue box, I should be able to trigger the next point of the glitch. Unfortunately, I can't jump, but I can warp. So sprinting is with L3, that's unaffected. And I could attack, but that's not going to be faster, so just going to be gradual running and warping till I get all the way back to Hammerhead. Because while we want the blue box on the screen, we would prefer a different one.
だいぶ普通っぽくなってきたよね。
何が？
生活感っていうの？庶民の気持ちがわかる的な？
あ？まあこっちの方が楽だしな。
Can't open up my menus. One of the differences between here and the PC version is that I'm able to swap what circle and X do, which allows me to jump and warp during this little segment. It saves you about 10% of time overall. Not a huge deal. But running is the fastest non-glitched movement of the game. That does not include warping. Or Chcobo driving, I guess. So do stay away from the double yellow exclamation marks. We don't need to worry about that anymore. Oops, stuck on a rock. Avoid battles too, just in case. Being in the side quest, you should not run into any. A lot of them are despawned, but since we are out of the bounds, can't be too careful. Time of day is also locked into the mornings, so you don't see any night demons. Okay, so even though the side quest expects you to spy on Cindy, she is actually loaded in Hammerhead like normal. So what we're going to do is quickly close the box and interact with Cindy immediately after. This is going to put the different blue box on screen, while retaining our free movement.
は？誰が買うんだよ。
欲しい人いるでしょう。まあ写真って思い出になるし
So
さ。
it's just a matter of double X. Just line yourself up, and it's not hard to trigger.
ここ車用品が。どう？頑張。
Alright, easy peasy.
よし、次こそは。
もうあれは嫌だ。
Cutscene plays, we return to the campsite. Alrighty. So once I hit Customize Regalia, I'm going to be able to retain my free movement while customizing my car. My recording is about to run out, so I'm going to cut it and start the next one.